All right, guys, here goes the answer key to your quiz review that you did in class today. Listing angles from smallest to largest. Remember, to do that, all you have to do is cover up the shortest side, and you will be left with the smallest angle. So angle C will be your smallest. To find your biggest side, you just have to cover up the biggest one, and you're left with angle A, which means angle B has to be in the middle. Next example, listing sides from shortest to longest. First of all, you need to state that this is an 80-degree angle. You need to know all three before you can do this problem. So the shortest side is opposite of the smallest angle. So cover up the smallest angle, which is 30 degrees, and you are left with side BC. To find the longest side, cover up the biggest angle, and you are left with side AB, which means AC is the side in the middle. And that's it. Do these sides make a triangle? There are two different ways to do this, but remember the one I showed is in order, 3 plus 5 minus 9. That's going to give you a -1, which means no. When you're just trying to state whether or not three sides make a triangle, you just have to do A plus B minus C. If it's a positive number, it's yes. If it's 0 or negative, it's no. Okay, so similar. What is the range of the third side? Well, that's got to be x is in between two numbers. Which two numbers? You have to subtract these two, so 10 minus 4 is 6, and add the two, so 4 plus 10 is 14. Next question. What kind of triangle do you have? So when we're trying to figure out what type of triangle, we have a squared plus b squared minus c squared. If you have a positive number, it's acute. If you have 0, it's right. And if you have a negative number, it is obtuse. So this is just going to give us 16 plus 49 minus 100. And that's going to end up giving us a negative number, which means we are going to have an obtuse triangle. Number 6, that's just a Pythagorean theorem. So if you have two sides and no angles, don't assume it's a special right triangle. It's just the Pythagorean theorem. So this is just 3 squared plus 6 squared is equal to x squared. So 9 plus 36 is equal to x squared. X squared is equal to 45. Square root both sides, and you get x is equal to 3 root 5. Next example is when you have to list all 5 sides from shortest to longest. So remember, that's where we first have to find all the missing angles. So we have 120 here, so this guy is 60. And then in here we have 130, which means this guy is 50. And this is where I suggest you name the middle side as 5. That's because it'll give you room to work up and down. So in the top triangle, you see that we have 5 is the longest side in the top triangle because it's opposite of the 100. So opposite of 60 would be 4, and opposite of 20 would be 3 as it gets smaller. In the bottom triangle, 5 is the shortest side of the entire triangle. So opposite of 50 is 5, opposite of 60 will be 6, and opposite of 70 will be 7. So all you have to do is then just name or list the sides. And in this case, I forgot to give you letters. So it would be AB, AD, BD, BC, and CD. And you're good to go. The backside is dedicated just for special right triangles. So remember, in a 45, 45, 90, the legs are L's, and then the hypotenuse is L root 2. So we have an L already, so we know L is 4 root 3, so this is also 4 root 3, which means this is 4 root 3 root 2, which we will just call 4 root 6. Next example, opposite of the 60 is s root 3. This is s and this is 2s. So, opposite of the 60 is s root 3. That's our 9. So we know that s root 3 is equal to 9. We have to find s by dividing both sides by the square root of 3. So s is equal to 9 over root 3, which is 9 root 3 over 3, which is 3 root 3. So s all by itself is 3 root 3. 2 times 3 root 3 is going to give us 6 root 3 for the hypotenuse. In the next example, we have 4 root 2 is our L root 2. So that's easy enough. If L root 2 is equal to 4 root 2, we know L is equal to 4. So both of these sides are 4 and 4. 30, 60, 90 again. That's our short side. This is our short root 3. This is our 2 short. So the short side all by itself is 5 root 5. So 2 times 5 root 5 is 10 root 5. And the short side root 3 is 5 root 5. Root 3, which we'll just say is 5 root 15. That cannot be simplified, so you are done. Next example, this is our s root 3, s and 2s. So over here, 2s is equal to 10, which means s is equal to 5. So this side is 5, and this is 5 root 3. Finally, last example, for regular 30, 60, 90s, opposite of 30 is s. This is s root 3, and this is 2s. Opposite of the 30 is 4 root 6. This is 4 root 6 root 3, which is 4 root 18. But 18 can be simplified to 3 root 2, so you have 12 root 2. This side is 2 times 4 root 6, so we have 8 root 6, and we're done. So those are straightforward 30, 60, 90, 45, 45, 90s. The last 3 questions you had were a little bit more of a challenge. So the altitude of an equilateral triangle is given as 5 root 3. So the first thing you have to do is draw an equilateral triangle, and you need an altitude. Now, knowing that every angle in an equilateral triangle is 60, we'll split the top to 30 and 30. You now know this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So if the altitude is 5 root 3, and that is our s root 3 side, we know this is 5, that's 5, this is 10, and this is 10, which means our perimeter is going to be 30 units. Question number 15. The diagonal of a square is what we're looking for if the perimeter is 80. So if you draw a square, 4 sides, if the perimeter is 80, all of these sides need to be 20. Draw a diagonal. Since every side is 20, this is a 45, 45, 90. So that means we have an L root 2. So if this is L root 2, this is 20 root 2. Last one is a 2-stepper. First thing you have to do is work on the left triangle. You are given the 2s side. So if 2s is equal to 10, s is equal to 5. So this piece is 5, and this is 5 root 3. So we now know that x is 5 root 3. We also know that this is 5, but in this triangle, it's known as L root 2. So if this side is 5, y is going to be 5 root 2. That's it. This was, again, just the answer key of what you should have done today in class. So hopefully you got all your answers correct. If you understood this, you will be good to go for tomorrow's quiz. That's all. Have a good one. Bye-bye.